Hi everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live. Happy Tuesday everybody. I hope everyone's had a good start to the week so far. We're inching our way through the week. We're also inching our way through winter. I think we're almost done and spring will be here soon. Although we're still having some cold weather here in San Antonio this week, but it won't be long now before we have beautiful weather again, which will be great. I've got some fun spring cards we're going to make tonight with ladybugs and some bees. So I hope you like the cards tonight. I think they're fun and get us in the mood for spring because it's just around the corner. Let me just wait a second and make sure I'm coming up on Facebook. And there I am. Okay. Make myself bigger. All right, great. All right, well, should we just get started? Let's do that. Turn my camera down. Okay, let's see. I think that looks pretty good. Let me make sure my volume's down on my iPad so we don't have the echo. Okay. All right, so we're going to use a ladybug collection out of the catalog, and this is our January through June mini catalog. And this catalog, like it says, will expire in June, I think the 1st of June. We also have a new annual catalog that's coming out May 1st, so that's exciting. As demonstrators, we get a sneak peek of it on the 23rd of March, so I'm kind of excited. I can't wait to see what new stuff is going to be there. So this is the Ladybug, Hello Ladybug bundle. This one doesn't have dies, but it has a stamp, and that's fun. If you like stamps, they're nice and easy to use, so we'll be using that tonight. And these are some of the cards in the catalog. If you guys want a catalog, email me. I'll be happy to send you a catalog. The catalogs are really fun to look through. Okay, so these are our projects for tonight. We're going to do this cute little Ladybug Hello card. We're going to do this with the fancy ladybugs. I lost a couple of rhinestones there. We'll do a little bee card with this really fun embossing folder that looks like a beehive or honeycomb. And then we're just going to make a little ladybug treat if you wanted to give this to someone as a little thank you gift or just a little treat. Maybe for your coworkers, for a teacher, something like that. All right, so let's get started with our first card. We're only using 2 colors of stamps this week. We're going to use Granny Apple Green and Memento Black. And the rest is just going to be either punching or die cutting. Really easy cards this week. So for our first card, let me show you what we're going to use. We're going to use this. I've showed you guys this before. This is one of my favorite die cuts. This is Scalloped Contours dies. And what I'm going to use from this set is this fancy scalloped frame. And then the other thing we're going to use is the Hello Ladybug stamp set. And this is a fun stamp set. We're going to use this big leaf stamp. We could use, when I first did the card, I stamped some of these flowers and then I fussy cut them out. This flower right here works with our medium daisy punch die, which is right like that. But then I decided I'm just going to punch this out of paper and not stamp it first. Anyway, and it makes a couple different ladybugs. So that's the stamp set we're going to use. And then when I first, that would be for, hold on just 1 second. Let me just see when I do. Okay, the second card I'm going to use that background on. Okay, and then the last thing is just a little hello, and that's from the stamp set also. We're just going to use this tiny little hello from there. And it's got some really cute ones. May your greatest wish come true. You can bug me anytime. It's a good day. Really fun sentiments. All right. So this looks like a lot of pieces. But again, we're going to use some of this paper just to punch some things out. So let me just put this stuff aside. This one is going to have a black card base. And this is the same size card base that we use a lot. So we're going to start with 8.5 by 5.5, and we're scoring it at 4 1/4. It's going to be oriented this way. The next thing we're going to do is I've already pre-die cut out of the Real Red cardstock this little background right here, so that'll look really pretty. And then we've used some DSP, Designer Series paper. And this Designer Series paper, this is a huge pack of paper. And you can earn this by having a party of $150 or more, and then you can purchase this at a discount. And it's got great, every sheet has a black and white pattern on one side, and then different colored patterns on the other side. So I've used this paper a lot, and this is the paper we're going to be using for some of our cards tonight. Now, if you would like to have all the pre-cut supplies to make these cards, then you can just go to the website and place your order of $35 or more by the 12th, which is Saturday, and you can get these make and take projects for free. I'll just send them into your mail in the mail when you order. You have to use this host code right here. Okay, so let's get started and attach some things. So this is that DSP, and we're going to use the black and white side. And we're just going to attach that with some seal right to the center of this. And we'll put this aside from now. We'll put that on last. Now we're going to do some stamping and some punching. Okay. We're going to save one of these for the inside of our card. And then we're going to start by stamping our green leaves. So we'll get out our Granny Apple Green. And we're just going to ink up this giant leaf. And we will stamp 2 of these. Now, there isn't a die or a punch for this big leaf, so we are going to fussy cut these out with some scissors. Oh, I don't like that one. I ended up with a little bit of a white spot, so we're going to flip this over and stamp it on the other side. Okay. A little bit smaller dot, which is fine because it's going to be covered up, and leaves are not perfect. So I'm just going to take my snips. These are really wonderful scissor Stampin' Up! Pads because they're super sharp and they're small, so they're easy to use. We're just going to leave a little bit of white cloud border around where we're cutting. And this is a nice, easy shape to cut out. And it doesn't have to be perfect. But I think this is a really cute leaf shape, and I like the bright Granny Apple Green color. It's very springy. Okay, that's one of our leaves. And we'll flip it over and do this side on this one. Does anybody out there hate fussy cutting? I know some people really don't like to do it. I'm not a super fan of it. It's so much easier to have a die to just cut something out, and it cuts it perfect every time. And as I get older, my eyesight's not the best, so especially with the shadows from the lights here, it's a little bit more difficult to see. But if you have a big shape like this, I feel like it's fairly easy to fussy cut it out. Okay, so now we've got our 2 leaves ready to go. We're going to do a little bit of punching next. All right, so I'm going to take that daisy punch I just showed you, and we'll open that up, and I'm going to punch 2 of those. I'm going to do it this way so I can see where it's lining up on the paper. And just like that, nice and easy, we've got our 2 daisy flower punched out already, and I'm using Mango Melody for that. Then for the middle of this flower, all I did was take white, and I might have lost it already, so I'll just punch another one really quickly from a little scrap of white. And this one I've used, I got this from Amazon. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell this, and this is a 3/8 inch circle punch. And this is handy, and I'm just doing this for the center of my flower, so I'm just going to punch that in white. I originally got this, that one's a little fuzzy, let me punch again. I originally got this punch for my Stampin' Blends markers because I punch out these little labels and I use a little glue dot to attach them to my markers. So that's how I label all my markers. All right, so that's ready. And then we're going to punch out, I have this small flower punch that I'm going to also, I'm going to punch 3 of these out of the Mango Melody. Now, in the card that I did, you can see I stamped them and fussy cut them, but they look a little rough with the fussy cutting. So I thought, well, let's just try another punch. and see how it looks like that. So we'll just punch 3 of those out right like that. Okay. All right. Next, we want to punch out our ladybug. Now, this is the ladybug punch, and it's just got 2 little punch shapes to it, the ladybug body and the wings. So we will do the body in black. I'm just going to line that up right around here so I don't waste. Okay. All right, we've got that. That went flying. And then I'm going to do the wings in real red. I'll punch those out. Okay, now we've got our wings. I'm going to set this aside because we're going to use this for more cards in a little bit. All right. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is do a little bit of stamping. And we have this stamp that puts the black dots on the wings. That's on the Hello Ladybug stamp set. So I'm just going to ink this up in Memento Black. Make it good and dark. And then I'm just going to line it up on the wing. I guess it's actually more of a shell with the ladybugs. Is it a wing or a shell? I'm not really sure. But we stamped that, so that's ready. And then our sentiment, I'm looking for my little sentiment pieces. I think we are just going to use a piece of white. So let me get that little scrap of white back. And we'll stamp the hello. And we're not going to use a die or anything for this. We're just going to cut this with scissors. So let me stamp that right like that. Okay. And that's all the stamping we're going to do. I think we're ready to assemble our card. Sorry about that. I moved the camera. Sorry. It's still okay. Okay. Great. So I'm just going to cut this with scissors. And I think, not to keep changing things up, but I think what I'm going to do is cut it on an angle instead of straight. So I'm just going to cut it just a little bit like this. And I think I want this one just a tad bit closer, just like that. Okay. All right, I think we're getting ready to assemble. Let's finish the sentiment. The other thing I did with this is I'm just going to take this little white and put it on a piece of our red. And then again, I'm just using scissors. I'm just going to cut around it to make an outline. Nice and simple. Don't need a die, don't need a stamp. That's it. That's what we're going to do for that. Okay. So let's start by adhering our 2 big leaves on the front of our card. Move my card. There we go. And I'm just going to use some seal. When I'm done fighting with it, I'll use it. I'll put 1 leaf there. And another one here. Okay. Now let's put our ladybug down, and we're going to pop the ladybug up. Let's attach the wings first, because I'm going to do those flat with some seal. So we'll just add a little bit of adhesive here and put them in the right place. Okay, cute, right? Isn't the ladybug cute? I love it. And then we'll pop this up with some dimensionals. Just take a couple of them. And we'll put our little ladybug right on the leaf, right about there. Then we're going to attach our 2 pieces of the daisy. So I'm just going to add just a tiny bit of seal right in the middle. You could also use a glue dot if you wanted to. My nails, I'm not able to pick anything up. And we'll just kind of offset that right like that. And then I think we will use a glue dot to put the middle on. Right in the middle. It's kind of opposite colors, right? Daisies usually have a yellow middle and white leaves, but I kind of like the mango, so that's why we use that. And let's use a dimensional to put the flower on. Petals are a little off. Right in the middle. And we'll put this right about here. And then we'll just try placing these other 3. Let's put one down flat. Oh, right under here. And it might have been better, now that we have these 3 bigger orange flowers, to do it with the white in the orange center. That might have been a better way to go. And we'll pop one up too. All right. That's a lot of yellow orangey flowers, right? That's okay. I think it still looks cute. All right, let's pop this whole thing up onto our card, and then we'll add our sentiment. I feel like my nails are super short this week, and it's hard to lift anything up. Okay, we'll center that right on the card. All right, let's pop up our sentiment, which is just a short, cute little hello, and we'll put that right there. All right, and then let's add some rhinestones. We've got some bigger ones. Let's use the bigger ones for the flowers. So we'll put a big one right there, one right there. I've got another one. We'll put right there. Peeking out just a little, maybe peeking out just a little bit. Okay, and that's pretty much our card. Because we're using, I don't really like the placement of that. Let me put it over just a little bit. There way you can see the center of the flower. Okay, so that's our first card. I'm just going to add a piece of white to the inside, because it's easier to write on than the black. And then you can also decorate the inside if you like. Lots of cute stamps. You could stamp another ladybug in the inside or a sentiment in the inside just to finish off the card. All right, so that's our first card. I'm also going to kind of bend these, kind of curl these up a little bit just so they don't look so flat on the card. All right, card number 1 all finished. All right, the next one we're going to do is also ladybug. And we're going to change this one up a little bit too as we're working on it. So this one we're going to start with a white base. And the only thing we're adding to this card, well, 2 things that we're going to do a little bit different, maybe 3. I took this Special Moments set. This is a really nice set of sentiments. And I just used just a little high from me. So we're going to use that for our sentiment. And then I used this Many Messages die set. And this is just one single die, but it cuts out all these shapes. These are very, I don't use this one too often because they're very little shapes. But what I used for this, I cut out of the black, this one that's almost got the little banner attached and a little bit of stitching. So that's what I did with the black. Now, I used that same Designer Series paper for this card front. But I want to try something different while we're doing this tonight. And I haven't used this so much. This is a stitched greenery die. And what it's going to do is just emboss these leaves into the green. So let's try that and see how it looks. And we can decide which one we like better. So I have one that's done already. And you can see, I'll show you up close, the stitching that goes into it. I think it looks really pretty. And I'll show you how we do that. So let me get out the pieces. Move this aside. Okay. More hearts stuck in the corner. Okay. All right, so this one we have a card base that is basic white. Same size, which is 8.5 by 5.5, square to 4 1/4. This one we're going to open this way. And then, like I said, instead of using the Designer Series paper, if you just have regular cardstock, you can use that. And we're just going to emboss right onto this piece of green. So let me get my cut and emboss machine up here. And we will just send this through in between the plates. I'm just going to kind of line this up and put it on top. Oopsie. And then I'm just going to run it through the machine. Hold on, I've got too much stuff up here. All right. Sorry about the shaking of the camera. Okay. off, and you can see how I put the stitching in. Just really, really pretty. So we're going to use that for this card. So we can attach that down right away with our seal. And we'll just leave our border of white there. I think that looks really pretty. The next thing we're going to do is this this is the Heart and Home doilies, and they come in 3 different colors. There's like a gray and like a muted blue, and I'm not sure what the other color is. But anyway, the other side is white, so we're just going to use a white doily and just put that down. We'll make our ladybugs a little fancier today from that. Okay, so let's pull out that paper we set aside earlier, and we're going to do some more, make some more ladybugs. So we'll do 2 more pieces with the black, and 2 more wings with the white, or I'm sorry, the red. Okay. And we'll do the same thing that we did before with the stamping. Stuck my fingers right in the ink pad. Okay, line this up. This one. You can see these are, when you punch, it's really easy to make these. You can make a whole bunch of them at one time. Really fast and easy. All right, well, we've got the memento out. Let's stamp the sentiment. And we said this one was just a little high from me. So let me get the little pre-cut piece of white cardstock that I have. Let's see if I can get this centered on there. Good. And that's it for the stamping for this card. Whoa, why do I keep hitting the camera? I'm so sorry. Ugh, let me get it straight. Okay. Alrighty, so let's start assembling. So we're going to start by adding the wings again to the ladybugs. And those look pretty cute. They're ready to go. So this little die that I was talking about in the black, we're just going to attach this little white sentiment right in the middle of that. And try and center it. That looks pretty good. And we won't pop this up. We'll just use some seal to put it down on our card. And we'll put that right about here. I think the doily makes it look really sweet. All right, let's pop our ladybugs up next. One there. All right, one down here. And then I've used the little hearts. You guys remember the heart dies that we used for Valentine's Day? They were the sweet heart dies. We made a bunch of Valentine's Day cards. I love this die because it cuts out these little hearts perfectly. And I cut out a ton of them just so I can have them to play with, because I think the heart adds a little bit of something to it also. So we're going to pop up some hearts, and I'm going to use some mini dimensionals on those. They just barely fit on here. Hopefully they won't show through. Okay. And these will just be up a little bit. We'll just randomly place 3 little hearts. All right, one more. Uh-oh, last one. Good thing I cut out 4. One escaped. All right, that one looks like I got it showing a little bit. Okay. There's our little hearts. Now we need to dress up our ladybugs with little necklaces. We'll give them some little rhinestone jewelry. So let's pull in our rhinestones. And we'll just line these up. We like ladybugs to be fancy, don't we? All right, there's one. And these are just the basic rhinestone jewels. They have adhesive on the back already, which is super handy. All right, and then let's just add a little bit of a bow. And this is that ribbon that I use all the time. It's that organdy, white glitter organdy ribbon, which is, I mean, ribbon with glitter. OMG, love it. It's so pretty. All right. It's kind of stiff too, so it's easy to tie into a bow, which I like. All right, let's cut off the ends, and I think we're about done with this card. We use a glue dot to attach it. Put it right about there. And that's it. That's our second card for tonight. All right, what do you guys think? Which one do you like better? The one with the stitched leaves or the one with the printed, the green print? They're almost the same color, the Granny Apple Green. Just one is printed and one has the embossed leaves. I think I like this one better. All right, that's card number 2. All right, the next one, we're going to use the same punches, but instead of ladybugs, we're going to turn them into some little bumblebees. All right, and so this one we're going to start with the black card base. Again, same dimensions. Okay, this one's going to open this way. And then we are going to do some more emboss this paper. So this is from that same card back that I showed you. See, it's got rainbow on one side and it's got black and white print on the other side. I thought this print was really pretty. And we are going to use some Bumblebee cardstock. All right, and I just cut this out at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And we're going to send this one through with the honeycomb embossing folder. And this is just really fun. I mean, let's just put this in and see what it looks like. I think it's going to look just beautiful. There's a little yellow honeycomb. I'm bringing my machine back in. Grab my plates. All right. See if I can. Now, I might not need this one. Sometimes the plates confuse me, but they're written right on there. So if you forget the order, they're written right on the plate. I'll show you. So we put that through. I'm using my bigger machine for that one. All right. See how on the die cutting plates, it'll tell you for the dies with the folders, and it lists, and all the plates have numbers on them. So you just have to take a minute and take a look and see what they are. Anyway, we're going to take this out of our folder, and you have the deboss side and the emboss side, and isn't that pretty? A little honeycomb pattern. I love that one. All right, so let's start assembling this card, and we'll start by putting this paper. I'm going to put this at an angle, and because we've embossed this paper, if I use the seal, it might actually rip some of the paper up on the back, so I'm going to put my seal down on the black and attach it that way. So I'm going to put it at a diagonal this way, and then I'm going to do the other sheet at a diagonal the other way. And this piece of Pattern Party DSP is 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. If you guys want the measurements or the project sheet, you can email me at sunshineandsparklestamping@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send you the sheet so you have all the measurements. Okay. All right, let's put our bees together. So I'm going to go back to that black piece where you're using and stamp 2 more black bodies, bug bodies. All right, so there's those guys. And then I'm going to do the wings. This is just vellum. It's just plain vellum. And I'm going to do the wings punched out in the vellum. Okay. Now we need our stripes on the bees. So I have just cut some Bumblebee cardstock, and this is 1/8 inch strips. And we're just going to glue these strips down. And I'm trying to think, what is the best way? I think I'm going to actually use the Tombow glue to glue these strips down. So let me just take a little bit of glue and put that one about there. As you guys know, I'm not the best with the glue. I will get it on my fingers. Look at that one. And this one. All right, let's do the same thing with the other one. See, I'm getting glue everywhere. You could probably even make these, I don't know, I guess they don't need to be too much thinner because we're getting good about the same spacing in between. All right, one more. All right. And we'll let these guys dry for a minute before we trim them. In the meantime, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And I cut this out, again, another one of my favorite die sets is Stitch So Sweetly, and I cut this out of Bumblebee, just in this pretty little shape for the sentiment. And we used from the Ladybug stamp set, the May Your Greatest Wish Come True, so we will stamp that in Memento. Right in the middle. Okay. All right, I think we can assemble. See if these are dry enough. So I'm just going to go around the back and just trim off. Just follow the curve of the bug body. And cut off our yellow stripes. All right. And same thing with this one. Okay, the bee bodies are done. All right. Clean up a little because I'm getting glue all over. Okie doke. And let's take these little vellum wings and use our seal on those. Put those right on the back. And then we have a really cute bee, don't you think? All right. Okay, so we're just going to pop some things up. We'll start by putting our sentiment right in the middle. And I wanted to, it's kind of hard when you have the stuff on a diagonal to make sure that you put it kind of straight when you're looking straight onto it. All right, let's pop up our bees. And we'll put one at the top and one at the bottom. Okay, next let's add some rhinestones. And let me see what I did with them. Hold on. I have them here somewhere. And these are the black matte rhinestones. And I'm just going to put them in the middle of the flowers because I thought they would look really nice that way. So I'm just going to put one in the middle of each flower that's showing. I think this is a really fun card. Oops, that one didn't pick up. All right, I see a couple more that aren't all the way on, but are kind of showing, and one more here, I think. All right, did I miss any flowers? I think we're good. All right, let's add a bow, and this is the Bumblebee Gingham ribbon, and I'm just going to tie a bow with that. I love how everything coordinates, the ribbon, the paper. Stampin' Up! Does a really good job with that. Cut off the ends. We'll put this on with a glue dot. Add an angle this way. All right. That's it. What do you guys think? Cute little spring card. Again, you can cut a piece of white for the inside, so you can decorate the inside or just leave it blank to write whatever you'd like on the inside. All right, that's card number 3. I hope y'all like that one. Lastly, we're going to make this cute little ladybug set. It's just got 2 little ladybug chocolate candies in it. And let me get out my supplies for that. The die cut that we're going to add for this one is I just used a scalloped circle out of, this is the layering circle dies, and I just used this size scalloped circle to cut out the white. All right, so let's get out our supplies for that. Not too many supplies. So the dimensions on this, I just cut a piece of real red cardstock, and I cut it at 6 inches by 3 1/4, and then I scored it at 4 inches. Very easy. I'm going to fold this over and use my bone folder just to burnish the edges, make them nice and crisp like that. So this is going to be the front like this. And then that same paper that I was talking about, I've got some little black dot paper, okay? And I'm going to put this on the inside. So I'm going to start by putting this one here. And then this one's going to go on the top. So I do have the measurements for that as well. So I have 3 3/4 by 3, and then 1 3/4 by 3. So that's all set to go. Now these ladybugs I got on Amazon, of course, because you guys know me, I like to get a bunch of stuff on Amazon. And these are just really, really cute. Regaline, I don't know, I'm not saying that right. But it's just a little box of these ladybug chocolates, which are really cute. I'll pull 2 of them out for our little project right here. And these would be a fun little gift for somebody. Then also on Amazon, I like to get these, and these are food grade, so you can use them to put food in these little cellophane bags. This is a 3 by 5 inch cellophane bag. And I'm just going to put a couple of the little ladybugs in here. And they can scooch to the bottom. Hold on, not upside down. And we'll just have them sitting at the bottom like this. I'm going to go ahead and seal this up at the top so they stay fresh. All right, just like that. Fold that over. Now, I want it to come right to the bottom. So it's pretty much going to come up, it fits perfectly. It's going to come up to the top like this. Okay. And I'm going to actually do just one little tiny fold right here. So it comes up a little bit higher. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to staple it, And what I really should have done was staple it before I put this piece of black, because the black would have covered the staple. But I'm going to staple it off just a little bit to the side, because we're going to put that circle on it, and nobody's going to be able to see the staple. But that kind of holds it all together. So that's it. All right, so let's do our stamping on our circle. And same Hello Ladybug stamp set. This time we're going to use this ladybug stamp, which is one smiling to the side. And we will stamp that in the black Memento again. Get this inked up really good because I want it to be really dark on here. I want lots of ink on this one. And I'll stamp it right in the middle. Perfect. The ink worked really well. All right. So, what I'm going to do next is just take one of my Stampin' Blends, and this is a real red, and it's the dark Stampin' Blend. I'm going to use the brush side, and I'm just going to color in the red part with the marker. And these blends are super nice markers. You can't, the colors, it just blends together. You don't see like the streaks. And I could have used the light and the dark together to give it, you know, a little bit of shading in here, but I decided just to go with just the plain one color red. Okay, all set. Oh, and I don't know if I left enough room for my other sentiment. I wrote, "It's a good day" down there, so let me see. That was so tiny, I'm not even sure I pulled that one out. Let's see if it's in here. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I think that one fell. It did. I heard something fall before and it fell on the floor. Found it. Hopefully I have enough room here to put "It's a Good Day" at the bottom. I think I do. All right. Okay, so let's tie some ribbon. This is that black and white gingham ribbon, which is still available. It was popular around Halloween. It was in the last mini catalog, but it's carried over, so you can still get this ribbon. And we'll just wrap it around and tie a bow. You could have colored it too. You can also color the ribbon with your Stampin' Blends. We could have colored it and made it black and red ribbon, but I think that would have been too dark for this card. Okay. So that looks good. This is frayed just a little bit. I'm just going to trim that off so it's not so frayed. All right, and then we're just going to pop up with our dimensional, our little guy here. And I'm going to put dimensional on top and the bottom around the ribbon. You could also make this like a little tiny thank you for somebody, you know, and just put a little thank you at the bottom instead of "It's a Good Day." I just think it's really fun to give away little treats like that. All right, let's put a couple rhinestones to finish this up. And let's see, I've got some medium. Whoa. That's upside down. Hold on. Okay, and a couple little ones. Put one here, one there, and maybe just one more down here. All right, what do you guys think? Fun little gift for somebody? Cute, right? I hope y'all like the cards tonight. So let's just look one more time at what we made. We made first our little Hello Ladybug card. And then we made our fancy little ladybug cards in the two different backgrounds. Then we made our bumblebee cards and then our little ladybug treat. So I hope y'all liked the projects that I showed you. I think they're pretty fun, pretty easy. Let me show you a couple other things and then I'll show you what we've got in store for next week, the cards that we're going to make. So again, like I said before, if you would like the project measurement and supply sheet, just drop me an email. I'm going to put all the links onto my Facebook business page when I'm finished, so you could just click on the link if you wanted to go to anything. If you sign up for the email, I will send you this project, these two project sheets for the projects. Reminder, Paper Pumpkin, the subscription for this month's kit ends in 2 days on March 10th. This is going to be Beyond the Horizon, which is that scenic paper. So that's going to be a fun kit to make things out of. A reminder that for the month of March, this mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine is on sale for 20% off. And there's also bundles right now that are 20% off. So we have these 12 different bundles. If you want information on that, I can email it to you. This Sunflowers bundle is really popular right now with everything going on with Ukraine. I've seen people do a lot of projects with that. I have some of these bundles. This What's Cooking bundle, that's a lot of fun. Let me just show you, for example, one of the bundles. And this bundle is $40.75. You get all these really fun dies, and you get this stamp set, really cute. Here's a little card that I made for a swap some time ago with this little set. I just think it's a really fun set to play with. But there's 12 different sets you could choose from, and those are 20% off through the end of the month. So St. Patrick's Day is coming up. I just wanted to show you a couple projects for that. If you guys remember that rainbow set that we used, this was one of the projects we did with the little rainbow candies, and all I did was just add a little shamrock to that. And what I used for that is these Give It a Whirl dies, where I love these stitched hearts. And I just cut some of these stitched hearts out of the green just to make a little shamrock for that if you wanted to give a treat to somebody for St. Patrick's Day. The other one I made is just, you know, we've used these clear boxes before, these clear acetate boxes from Stampin' Up. Again, with those hearts, I made a little shamrock and then cut out some of that rainbow paper. Or if you had those, if you had gotten the Rainbow of Happiness dies, you can just stamp your own rainbow on there. And I got some coins off of Amazon, chocolate coins. So this would be another fun St. Patrick's Day treat to give somebody, just a little green paper in the background. And then what I did for the pot, I used this Cactus Cuties. I thought that pot was really cute. And we're going to be making some cards with this set coming up pretty soon too. Here's one of the cards I've already made with the little cactuses. So that'll be coming up pretty soon. And then for the coins, I just gold embossed this Gumball Greetings, which is another fun set I want to use pretty soon. Just this little 5-cent coin, I just used my Versamark and embossed in gold to make a little pot of gold for our little St. Patrick's Day treat. So just wanted to throw out a couple ideas for St. Patrick's Day since it's coming up. So lastly, next week, we're going to be using the Tulips bundle, Tulips and Windmills. So we're going to make these cards next week. And they really pretty, gorgeous, different tulip papers. This one's the Poppy Parade, so pretty. This is just a little thank you gatefold card. So we're going to do a couple of different folds next week with this tulip paper. And these little brass butterflies are really fun to embellish with too. So that's one of the cards. Then there's more orangey yellow paper and some die cuts. So just thinking of you today card, which is another kind of fun fold card that we'll make next week. This one's really fun. This is the windmill dies. And more pretty tulip paper in the background, cute little bicycle. And what we're going to do with this one is we're going to make an easel card. So when they open it up, it'll stand up. I don't know if you can see that too well, but we'll make this little easel card. And then lastly, who remembers the windmill cookies? My mom used to eat these all the time when I was a kid. So we're going to make a little treat bag with the windmill cookies, and we're using some of the purple paper, the Highland Heather, and we have a little windmill stamp that we're going to make this little treat bag next week. So I hope you can join me back here next week. Thank you for watching tonight. If you watch live, if you're watching the replay, if you're watching on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind giving me a like, a thumbs up, and you can hit the subscribe button too, so you would never miss a video. I'd greatly appreciate that. And thank you for watching. I hope everyone has a really nice rest of the week. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.